I'd like to get back into a point with WoW where I sort of can interface with it in like a positive, happy place. They need to make significant changes to Mythic Plus for me to want to play, I think, properly. I'll try out 10.2, but if it doesn't hold my attention after like a week or two, nah. Nope. So what you need to do, in my opinion, you need to remove the ability to deplete. That will make people less toxic. It'll also make people just probably take people that look good rather than the best spec, because they'll go, oh, this player just looks good, let's see what we can do. If we fail, oh well, go again. Whereas because keys can deplete, people are like, no, I am not doing my key unless we get the perfect group. Because if we don't get the perfect group and we fail, then my key's gone. And then I've wasted my key. You know, and then it's a big deal. So you need to make keys not deplete. You also need to make it so that when you get a key, you can put it into any dungeon. So you get like a plus 20 key, where you can go and play any dungeon. That way, if you want to play, like, if you just want to do one type of dungeon, you just really want to blast that and get good at it and try and get your IO up on that dungeon, go for it, blast it. You want to farm a certain type of gear, go for it. That will also, those two things will also encourage more longevity. If you take a group of people and they all want the plus 26 freehold, and you go into the key and you guys deplete that key, no one wants to stay for the 25 because they only wanted that 26. However, if you play with a group and you're a good group, but you just had one or two minor little things that you could have cleaned up and we can go again, let's go again. Oh, that was good. People were kicking, people doing this and that. They're clearly good players. Like, yeah. Right now in the game is you just go, well, we don't want the key, so I don't care how good of a player you are. None of us want each other's keys. So no, I'm going to go find the key that I want because it's a pug. I don't know you. Doesn't matter how well you played. Oh, we can just queue up the key again because it didn't deplete and we can pick whichever dungeon we want. Okay, cool. Yeah, let's go again. Oh my god, guys, we've been playing together for 3 hours now. Wow, we had a great day of playing together. Hey, do you want to do this again tomorrow? Oh, that would be cool. Why don't we go again tomorrow and we can try the 27 freehold? Yeah, cool. Okay, all right, let's add each other in BattleNet. Whoa, have I just immediately increased the desire to form pre-made long-term groups and also reduce the toxicity and also actually made it more fun because you can choose how you want to interface with that element of the game? Wow. Boom. That's what I would do to fix that. Also, I would add a solo queue. The keys from a +2 up into a +20. Maybe +15. 15s are easy. Up to a +20. Anything beyond a +20, you have to create a group separately, like in the LFG, right? Properly. That way, people can just get into the content. Hey, I've never done Mythic Plus before, but I'm scared to sign up to a group or sign up my key. I don't know what I'm doing. Yo, just queue it up. Just queue it up. You'll get put in with a group who are also doing +2s. It might be their first time as well. Yo, let's just go figure it out, guys. If it fails, oh well. No harm done. Cool. Simple. And the way you do the solo shuffle is, again, you limit what levels you can solo shuffle for, solo queue for. Also, well, no, you need key levels, right? Because you need key levels, because that's the scaling. That's the imagine Criterions, but they continuously scaled and got harder and harder and harder. So you do need key levels for Mythic Plus, or you go back to like challenge modes or something, right? But the last thing with the solo queue is that you make it so you can only queue for a +3 in solo queue if you've completed a +2. And then to queue for the +4, you have to have completed the +3. On and on and on. And the people that you're going to be grouping with have also at least completed that dungeon at least one level below. Or they've also completed it on that level. You'd be able to... Look at this. People say, like, oh, it couldn't happen. I watched a Tettle's video, and he's like, no, there's no way you could do that. Like, how could you have all the caveats? Bro, this literally has all the caveats. What are you there for? Are you there for completion? Are you there for loot? Because that would detail, like, if it's not going to be in time, then you just all know, like, no, we're only here for duty completion. And then that way, there should be, like, no punishment if somebody leaves the key early. However, if you're there for loot and somebody leaves the key early, then they should get a punishment, right? Like, you've got tags, you've got loot, like, why you want to go there, practice, like, yeah, learning, you know, like, maybe you have, like, a new player tag or something, so you join the thing, and it's a group of also other new players, and they can learn together or something. Maybe you have, like, 1 or 2 people who are experienced, who are happy to queue into new player groups, right? You can put in these things. You make it so that like you don't have 2 augmentation evokers, because that, or 2 tanks, obviously. That would all be stupid. You got role restrictions. You got midnight. You got all these things of how you want to form these groups. Put that into solo queue. I want freehold. You know, drop down. I want a freehold plus 20. I'm there for loot. I play this spec. Obviously, the game will know that. And then it will just sort the group for you. Done. Experienced players don't help out fresh prog raids groups in WoW. Yeah, no, they do. Yeah, of course they do. Just not everyone does. But, like, some people do, of course. There's always going to be people that are going to help and some people that don't help. Yeah. Yeah. And maybe people apply for groups. You can't expect them to be okay with your system that makes them wait an hour because they rate an IO score into some person's standard because he wants an easy and fast as possible. Yeah, like, that's the issue, right, Spectra? And it makes sense when you're doing a plus 28 key and you need everyone to be hot as shit. Like, it makes sense. But it doesn't make sense in a plus 8, where all you need is somebody whose monitor is plugged in to a socket and their PC is turned on. You know what I mean? Like, those are the qualifications you need to time a plus 8 key. Those are the things I would do to fix WoW Mythic Plus. And that's not getting even into the discussion of making it more for fun rather than an esport. Make it for fun. That way people like how many of you guys go, oh my god, it's Friday night. I finished a full week at work. I can't wait to get home, log on with the boys, grab a little brewski, and pop through a plus 26 Neltharian's Lair, fortified bolstering. Raging. Ah, man, it's gonna be so fun. Oh, we depleted? Cool. Wow. That was so great. Ha. Mom, where's the bleach? You know what I mean? Like, nobody's doing that. Nobody's excited to log on with the boys. You're gonna go play a different game. You're gonna go play, like, whatever the hell else other games people are playing. You're gonna go play Baldur's Gate, some shit, whatever the hell else everyone's having fun with, you know? Like, no one's doing that. Make it fun. Remove depleting. That way it's less painful. Make it so you can choose the dungeon you want to do. If you just absolutely hate Neltharian's Lair, then don't do it. Just be able to go and play other dungeons. And yeah, that's like my whole thoughts on it, really. Those are my whole thoughts on it. I know Teddles put out a video and he said, oh, well, I don't think solo queue would work for PvE, for Mythic Plus, because look at solo shuffle in PvP. However, there's something that which I think he didn't consider. I don't think he considered it. He doesn't talk about it in his video. And the reason I'm choosing Teddles here is because he made a video on it, right? Teddles said the reason he thinks solo queue won't work in Mythic Plus is because it's created a rift in the PvP community because solo shuffle queues are like 40 minutes, right? And it's killing PvP because it's so long. But that's because people fundamentally PvP and Mythic Plus differently. In PvP, you might spend a long time in the queue finding a group, but once you have a partner, you're likely to stay with them for a long time, probably the whole day. So you have an initial long incubation period, but then, once you're playing, you're just blasting out the content. Then you quick queues, you're getting in, you're playing, you're gonna stay with that partner, right? Whereas solo shuffle is the inverse of that. Well, in the sense of like, solo shuffle, once you get into the group, there's a long wait period, but the payoff is that then, yeah, you're in a solo shuffle for X amount of time, but then it's over, and then you have to go right back to the queue again, because there is no sort of like follow-up, right? Whereas in Mythic Plus, it's the inverse. You queue in, and you might get into a group quickly, but then when that key is over, it's done, because you don't need the follow-up key, or it depleted, so you don't need the lower version of that key, or you don't need the next dungeon, or you just really wanted that freehold or whatever, right? So WoW Mythic Plus is just naturally different, because it's very rare so it's very common in PvP for people to stick together, which makes solo shuffle bad. In Mythic Plus, it's very common for people to leave when they're done, which makes solo queue good. So I actually think the PvP argument reinforces why solo queue in Mythic Plus would be better. In my opinion. So, that's what I'm thinking. And also, WoW PvP is struggling for various reasons, yeah. So, there's that. Heroic raids need a solo queue. It's 20 players, though. For dungeon content, 5-player content, you should be able to just queue into. 20-player content, that should be a bit more organized. People do pug, like, those, but it should be a bit more organized when you got 20 players, in my opinion. For Heroic, anyway. For normal, it's a bit whatever. Those are the things that people say whenever they're like, oh, well, all of those things you just said, Sai, are bad, because then people would get a bunch of gear, like, they'd get gear, or, like, people would, what about depleting? Like, people just want gaming to be easy these days. It's like, no, bro, depleting is a punishment. Like, it's a hard punishment. You've already lost an hour of your time trying to complete that key, plus the setting up the group, and all that kind of stuff, you know? So it's like, you just don't get it. You just don't get it. It's not about making the game easy. It's about making it less toxic, more encouraging to make long-term groups, and to engage with the content and come away happy. If you come away from the content and you're frustrated and you're annoyed. I did one World of Warcraft Mythic Plus stream in 2 months of playing FF. Okay, I played FF for 2 months, didn't touch WoW. Came back to WoW, played WoW on stream for 1 day. I got frustrated and felt my blood boil 4 times. Like, minimum. It's insane.